Hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. I wanted to sit down and film a Q&A today because I haven't done one in absolutely ages and I thought it was about time. So I actually put this out on Instagram and I did one of the like commenty, questiony thingy-mabobs and said, have any of you got any questions? And I got so many responses, like honestly, so many. The main question I have to say that's been asked a million times, literally hundreds of times, is do you want another baby? When are you going to have another baby? Are you going to have another baby soon? Are you thinking about having another baby? And I've been quite open about this, I feel like, over the last, well, ever since River's been born and probably before she was born as well. Yeah, we definitely want more kids, definitely 100%. And I'm pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think it'll be till probably, I mean, at the earliest, we would start trying next year, and so like end of next year or 2020. So like, don't get excited yet, guys. I'm not gonna have another baby just yet. Give me a bit of time. River's only 9 months old, so not yet. But yes, we will be trying for another one at some point because I'd love lots of kids. Well, at least 3. If we can have 3, I would be super happy. But yeah, it's awesome. Literally all of the questions are that. So Joe Betty B has asked, what surprised you the most about becoming a mum? It's funny, like, I don't know, like, surprise. Like, I've definitely got a lot of things like, what are the worst parts, what are the best parts, things like that. The things that have surprised me the most are how difficult it is to get anything done. Like, I knew it would be hard, but now she's like starting to crawl and stuff. It's really difficult to get anything done. Like, honestly, she just wants to be with you and doing stuff with you all the time. So like, that surprised me. And I guess also how easy it is to actually travel with them, because people make it seem like, oh, when you've got kids, you can't travel. And like, yes, I'll talk about this in a bit because I definitely got asked a lot about the kind of travel situation as well. Yes, it's harder to travel for work, but as a family, it's actually quite easy traveling with one little baby. I'm sure it gets a lot harder when you've got a few. But she's like really easy and she's really good on planes as well. So, yeah, that surprised me. Like, people make it seem like it is going to be really hard. And also, like, the whole thing in general is going to be really hard. And that surprised me how much we've actually enjoyed it. Like, yes, there are hard times. But, like, I feel like a lot of people, before you have a baby, they're like, well, your social life is over. This is over. And it's actually been pretty enjoyable. Britta Janice has said, what is your current go-to eyeshadow palette? My current one that I'm using loads is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadow quad. It's amazing, absolutely love it. I actually haven't used it today. I've used the By Terry one that I actually showed on my Instagram a little while ago that I actually made, but the Charlotte Tilbury one at the moment is definitely like my most used, I would say. Smart.familyexo has said, I love your style and I love your hair. Thank you. Just curious, would you ever change your hairstyle, and if yes, what would it be? I've thought about this so many times because if you guys have been following me for a long time, you'll know I've had the same hair for ever, basically forever. I don't really change it. I did have a lot blonder hair, but it's always been like this length, and then I either keep it straight or curl it. I rarely wear it up. I went through a phase of doing plaits, but I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, I basically like haven't really changed the length a huge amount or the colour. Like, I've never gone brown, or I like it's done varying stages of blonde throughout the last like 10 years. I would cut it shorter, like I definitely would. I'm too scared. Like, I've had it long for such a long time. I kind of want it like short, like not short, but like this kind of length. And I'm tempted to do it, but then I just think it's also such a stereotypical thing to do when you've just had a baby, or if you're like a new mum, is to cut all your hair off. And I feel like I don't want to do that because of that, if you get what I mean. So I feel like for the moment it's gonna stay the same. Do you guys think I should cut my hair? Do you think I should dye it? I actually think this I've never been happier with the colour. Like I really like this kind of like natural blonde. I get a few highlights every now and again, but this colour at the top is like my natural colour. I think before I was way too blonde, and then I've also been, I went a little bit darker in like 2013ish, and it didn't really suit me either. B Haha says, what did you study at university? I've actually spoken about this a lot. In my first videos, I did loads of like uni experience videos and stuff like that. I actually studied geography, human geography, at LSE, which is London School of Economics. So a lot of people, when they hear you talk about studying geography, they're like, oh, rocks and rivers and like colouring in and all that. Mine was actually really different to that. My degree was mainly like a little bit of economics, a little bit of politics. Because of the uni I went to as an economics school, we did have like stats classes, which I hated. Someone's asked, what are your dog essentials? Now I've had a baby, the dog essentials are pretty much limited to dog food and a lead. Yeah, our dogs are pretty low maintenance. They do like tennis balls though. Rosia Linar has asked, favourite jewellery brands? You have such good taste. Thank you. So I always wear, at the moment I'm wearing like a real mixture of like vintage. So I've had a lot of questions actually about this star ring that I've been wearing loads recently. It's not new. It was actually old. It's a vintage ring, but I've actually had it since I was about 25, so probably 5 years. And I've only recently started wearing it kind of day to day. And I actually really like it. I used to wear it as like a kind of special jewellery piece, but I love it so much. I was like, why don't I just wear it all the time? So that's vintage. This ring that I wear is from Cartier. It's a Trinity ring that Mike bought me for our 10-year anniversary. This one is from Monica Vinader. This I got as a gift from Mike for our 21st, which is again like from an independent jeweler. It's like not any kind of brand. This one's Monica Vinader. Again, this is like a little Cartier bracelet that Mike bought me when River was born. And then what else do I wear? This little one's from an independent jeweler. This is a combination of vintage and Monica Vinader. I wear a lot of Monica Vinader. She's definitely one of my favourites. All of my earrings are from Maria Tash. And I never change them. So I've got like the little star, and I get so many questions about this star. So I've got a little star in my tragus that is Maria Tash. Like I say, all of them are Maria Tash. And then I've got the 3 little rose gold with diamond hoops, and then the bottom one has the little opals on it, which I have to say, the Maria Tash earrings, and then I've got the little lightning bolt on this side too. They're super expensive, but the way I did it, I basically bought one at a time, and just kind of saved up for them. And then these ones were a gift from Mike for my birthday. So it's been like very, very gradual to get like a whole ear of Maria Tash. It was like my dream. And I would definitely like to have more piercings, but my body hates piercings, so we'll see. This is the most recent one, this little lightning bolt, and it took it 4 months to heal. And it was really unhappy for a long time, so it just takes a long time. L Taylor says, would you consider writing another book? I love you and your videos. Thanks, L. I would, not at the moment. I feel like there's nothing, I wouldn't write another book until I had something to write a book about, if you get what I mean. I feel like I've done my kind of like fashion and beauty. So I've written 2 books, The Glam Guide and The Luxe Life. So they, I think it was like 2015 and 2016, or 2014, 2015, I can't remember. Anyway, a few years ago. Yeah, I would, but I'd have to have something specific that I wanted to write it about, and at the moment I don't have like an idea or something specific that I want to talk about. It's Been says, how do you feel about what is happening in the beauty community? And I feel like this is off the back of a lot of like the My Truth videos that people have been uploading. Quite honestly, like I am not massively involved in the beauty community, and I feel like a lot of that kind of drama that was going down was based in the US, especially. Over the past kind of 5 or so years, I've made not a kind of conscious effort, but like I've been aware that things were changing. Like I used to be really, really involved in the YouTube community. I used to have loads of friends online, and it's not so much that I've fallen out with people, but it's more so that like things have changed, and I have actually kind of realised over the years that people's motivations for doing YouTube have changed. And like I definitely agree with a lot of the videos that go around like My Truth, and you know, like it's crazy that people don't want to engage with brands now without being paid and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it is our job, it's my job, it's been my job for 8 years. So I mean, you have to be real, like people are going to get paid for YouTube, but I do agree with all the people that are saying that it's kind of got a bit out of hand. And me personally, like I have my friends who do YouTube, but it's not such like a public thing anymore. I feel like the majority of the friends that I have and see in my life are like my outside of YouTube friends, and I've been friends with them for years and years and years, and the people that I do see through YouTube, we don't necessarily like talk about it, and I definitely don't see as many people socially outside of kind of work stuff as I used to. Is that a conscious decision, or is it just a kind of gradual change? Probably a little bit of both. I do think over the years a lot of people have changed. The kind of financial element of things has had a part to play on that, and I also think the kind of like YouTube fame has affected some people, and I just try and stay out. And like a lot of people say like, oh, like how do you stay the same, whatever. Like my friends and family are the same as they've always been. Like I spend the majority of my time with my family, with Mike. I was with Mike before YouTube, so like that's not going to change. But I don't want to get like involved in that debate because I'm just not really that involved in it. In terms of who I watch as well, like I watch my friends on YouTube, and people that I'm interested in. I don't keep up with everybody because I've got a little baby and I spend most of my time running around after the river. So like I don't have time to sit and watch YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video like I used to. And I think that's had such a positive effect on my kind of mental attitude and state of mind, because when you're in it, it's very different to when you're watching people from the outside. Like when you're involved in the community, it's very easy to be like, oh, I wish I was doing that, and I wish I was on that trip, and I wish I was doing that. And I just tend to kind of do my own thing now, if that makes sense. I feel like that was a massive waffle. Sarah Gillian 89 has asked, favourite setting powder for a natural look but holds in place all day. I've been using the new Charlotte Tilbury one for the last couple of months and I love it. Absolutely love it. DBT Queen says, what advice would you tell your 17-year-old self? I love you. Thank you. I have to say, I've got so much advice that I would give my 17-year-old self. The main thing is don't care so much about what people think about you, because I cared so much, and I still do. Like I'm bad at that, but like when I was younger I really cared. And secondly, it would be naughtier and have more fun. Like I was so good at school. Like, I was such a goody two shoes, and I wish now that I had been a bit naughtier and had a bit more fun and not been like, so I was one of those girls, like when I had a boyfriend, I was like with my boyfriend all the time, and I did not make the most of having the opportunity to see my friends every single day, which if I did now, I wouldn't hang out with Mike, I would hang out with my friends. Yeah. Maddie Noel has said, how was your recovery after having a C-section? Is it as bad as people say? I actually think it's not quite as bad as people said, but because I didn't have an emergency section, because mine was scheduled, I didn't obviously have to go through the kind of trauma of being in labour and then being rushed into surgery. So I think that has had a massive effect on my recovery as well, because I didn't have like such a huge kind of trauma to recover from, as well as then obviously the physical surgery. I'm also really lucky in the respect that my family really helped out. Mike was amazing, and I did take it pretty seriously in terms of like, right, you have to rest, like chill out on the sofa and don't go heavy lifting stuff. But in terms of the actual pain, I actually also do think that wasn't as bad as I had anticipated it being. A lot of people told me it was going to be super painful, and yes, actually on the second day, when I had a period of time where my pain medication ran out and I was in a lot of pain, but then as soon as I was back on the drugs I was fine. And I also then just made sure that my painkillers, I was taking my painkillers like exactly on time, on the amount of time that I could, and I wasn't kind of missing an hour or whatever. So I was like just making sure I was keeping topped up for the first kind of like few days, and then it was okay. But yeah, in terms of the recovery, the one thing I would say now, I can't show you my scar because it's literally in my bikini line, but my scar is still quite red. Like it's healed quite nicely, it's very neat, it's very small, it's hidden. No one, unless I was naked, would see it because it's underneath, even like the skimpiest of underwear covers it. But It is still quite red and it's itchy, which is so annoying because people think that you're itching your crotch. If you're like, if it gets itchy and you need to like scratch, you know what I mean? Like, it's really itchy, but you don't want to scratch it because it looks like you're itching down there, but you're actually not, you're itching your scar. But yeah, so that is my recovery. Katie Kelso says, what's your favourite song at the moment? I feel like this is such a guilty pleasure, but I've been listening loads to Miley Cyrus's new album. I'm not normally a fan of Miley Cyrus. Not that I'm not a fan, but like I'm not crazy about her. And the song that she did, I think it's called Rainbow Land with Dolly Parton. I love it, absolutely love it. I'm listening to that loads. Lydia Carroll has asked, how has River changed your view on your work? I have to say, there's two different elements. Firstly, it's put everything into perspective massively. So like all of the drama, all of anything that goes on in work, I'm just like, meh, that's not important. It obviously is important, but like the main important thing in my life is now River. She is the most important and comes above and beyond everything, which is quite nice because it really does put, if I get stressed about something, it puts that into perspective completely. However, the one thing I would say, the one downside, and that's a lot, I'm getting a lot of questions about this, is like, are there, like, what's the main thing you've struggled with having a baby, or do you think there's any downsides? For me, it's taken away, well, it hasn't taken it away because I could still do it if I wanted to, but I don't want to travel with work so much anymore. And I think that is really difficult for me because that was my favourite part of what I do, and that is now pretty much gone. Like, I've been on, I think, one work trip, which was LA with Joe Malone in May, and it was wonderful, it was amazing, but it was 3 days, it was so far, and you have to pull in so many favours to kind of make sure that everything is covered. Mike has to take some time off work, and I also had to like rely a lot on my mum and things like that for when Mike had to work, and it's just, it's a lot. To go away with work now is a lot, so I don't do it as often as I used to, and I also miss her and I want to take her with me, but taking her with me would be an absolute nightmare, because she would just, like, you'd have to basically take someone with you to look after her, and then you're kind of like, what's the point in disrupting her routine? Also with jet lag, like, I don't want a baby with jet lag. It's basically taken away that element of my work, and that's what I've struggled with most, is that I love that, but it's something that you just have to sacrifice. You have to make sacrifices having children, and she's 100% worth it. So yeah, but that's the one thing I'd say that I kind of struggle with having a baby, and that's especially work-wise. Whimsical Story has asked, will you make a video about what my baby eats in a day? The answer for that is probably no. I get enough comments about what I eat in a day when I do those videos. I just don't want people to have that opinion on what River's eating and be judging me as, not that I feed her unhealthy things, most of the time I cook her stuff at home and put it in the freezer. She eats a lot of fish, she eats a lot of veggies, she eats a lot of strawberries, they're her favourite, and she loves yogurt as well. But like I don't mind saying that, like what she generally eats, but I think doing that kind of video, you're just opening yourself up to criticism about diet and all of that kind of stuff, and I don't mind it so much when it's me, but when it's River, I'm really quite protective. As you guys know, I don't really show her. I show the occasional Instagram photo of her, and she's been in a couple of videos a little bit, but I mean, I just feel really protective of her, and I don't need the mum guilt associated with that, so I'm probably not going to do that. J Patty W asks, when did River start crawling? She started crawling 2 weeks ago tomorrow, and she has gone from 0 to 60 in the shortest amount of time. She's literally gone from being really frustrated and like bum shuffling and not moving, and then she started crawling and was like, ha 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 ha, and now she's racing around. Like, you'll put her down and she'll have crossed the room in a few seconds. You have to like keep your eye on her all the time, and she's loving it. Like, she will literally crawl across the room, then turn around and be like, ha 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 ha, and like, she loves it. She's so cute. The same person, J Patty W, has also asked, can we see a whole wardrobe tour one day? Maybe, but at the moment my wardrobe is not in the state where I'm going to be sharing it. It's in a bad way. Since River has been born, that little like wardrobe clear out video that I did is the only wardrobe clear out or organising that I've done since having her, which is 9 months ago. So and probably a bit before that, so yeah, not for a while, but I would show it. I just need to get organised. Becky says, is being an influencer harder now you've had a baby, and how do you prioritise? It is so much harder. getting content is so much harder. When I was pregnant, I was actually really good at scheduling in times to film and editing and like uploading schedule and all that. So like I pretty much had YouTube down, but in terms of Instagram, I think it's really impacted my Instagram to the point where like sometimes, you guys will probably have noticed, like I won't be able to upload an Instagram for like a week because I won't have anything that I want to post. Like I won't have any nice pictures because I've just been in my like chilled out clothes at home with River, covered in baby sick or food or whatever. So I think it's impacted my Instagram a lot. And also like I used to travel loads, and I think not having that content, like it's so easy to make amazing content when you're traveling, and not having that makes me a little bit like feel like my Instagram looks rubbish. But there we go. Melanie Jane 1 says, I need a new mascara, what is your favourite? Today I'm wearing the YSL curler one, which is amazing. I also really love the new L'Oreal one with the really ugly black tube bottle thing. Just those two. I also like all YSL ones. I love all the YSL mascaras except the Shock. And I would recommend those on a high-end level, but on a low-end level, the L'Oreal one and also Max Factor mascaras are amazing. Okay, so last question, because I'm aware this video is going to be super long. Helly Lou has asked, will you include babies and kids stuff in your Christmas gift guide this year? I hadn't actually thought about it yet. I have thought about the Christmas gift guides and I've started getting rough lists, but I hadn't kind of made that decision. Is it something you would like to see? Obviously, it might be something you would like to see, whoever asked that, because you've asked that question. But if you let me know in the comments below, would you like to see like a kids gift guide? I would like to do one. Like shopping for kids is now the main thing that I shop for, or shopping for River. But yeah, so I would like to do that. Would you like to see it? Let me know, and I will speak to you guys again very soon. I hope you all have an amazing day, and yeah, sending you lots of love. Bye.